In a small town in Lagos State, Nigeria, a beautiful baby girl named Clara was born on a cold, rainy night to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Matthew Obiora. It was supposed to be the happiest day in the life of Mr. Matthew Obiora, a wealthy businessman in Lagos, known across the country for his luxury automobile empire. But joy turned into grief in the blink of an eye. Elizabeth's body could not withstand the long, hard labor, and by the time the doctors handed baby Clara to her father, her mother's heartbeat had already faded. From that moment, Clara became Matthew's life purpose. He didn't remarry. He didn't even entertain the idea. Instead, he poured his soul into raising Clara, not just as a daughter, but as a living memory of the woman he lost. Their home was grand, a white mansion with marble floors, chandeliers from Italy and paintings from Ghana. But Clara never grew up spoiled. She grew up deeply loved. Matthew taught her everything: business ethics, dignity, emotional strength. On Sundays, he would walk her through the garage, letting her touch vintage Ferraris and luxury BMWs. Not to impress her, but to prepare her. This, he would say, holding her hand, will one day be yours. Not just the cars, the legacy. Clara was a quiet child, observant, intelligent. She bloomed under her father's love. People often said she had Elizabeth's eyes, calm, wise, magnetic. She studied at the best schools, graduated with honors in business management. Her life looked like a perfect painting, until everything shattered. One morning, Matthew didn't come down for breakfast. The house tap knocked gently, then loudly, still silent. Clara rushed up, heart pounding. He was gone, peacefully in his sleep. A heart attack. The great Matthew Obiora, strong, brilliant, larger than life, was suddenly no more. Clara stood by his casket, her hands trembling. She was just 20, alone, orphaned. The world felt like it was spinning too fast. But her father had left everything in order. The house, the business shares, the cars, and the Obiora's trust fund, all in her name. And then came Leo. He wasn't from their world. Leo Martins had grown up in the inner city, raised by the streets, but he was smooth, good-looking, spoke with charm, and Clara, in her vulnerable grief, found him comforting. He told her she was too young to bear so much responsibility, that she needed someone to help, that she deserved to be cared for. He made her laugh, called her queen, showed up with roses, cooked for her, and told her he would protect her, like her father did. Clara fell in love. Within 3 months, Leo was living in the mansion. Within 6 months, he had talked her into giving him control of parts of the family business. Just the logistics side, he said. Let me handle the staff, you focus on grieving. But Clara wasn't grieving anymore, she was drowning. Leo started showing his true self. The charming smile became sharp words. Then silence. Then blame. You think you're better than me because you have money? He would ask. You'll be nothing without your father. Don't ever forget that. The first slap came during a dinner over bone stew. Clara was stunned. Then the second and third. He began locking her out of their bedroom, using her credit cards to entertain other women, belittling her in front of staffs. She tried to fight back, but he knew how to twist her mind, gaslight her, isolate her. Clara faded. She stopped attending business meetings. Her trusted friends stopped calling. Leo had pushed them away. She barely recognized her own reflection anymore. And then came the night that changed her life forever. Leo had come home with another woman, kissing and holding hands. He introduced Clara as one of his staffs. He carried the woman upstairs to their bedroom. He came downstairs, saw Clara still in shock. He pushed her, called her names, told her no other man would want her. She should be thankful he was still there for her, protecting and loving her more than her father ever did. He took 2 glasses of wine and a bottle of whiskey, went to their bedroom to meet the other woman. That was the last straw. Something inside Clara snapped. She stares at her reflection in the cracked mirror, the dim light revealing the bruises that mar her beauty. But amidst the pain, she sees a flicker of defense. A ghost of a woman she used to be. A quiet vow forms in her heart. No more. This ends now. Clara waited until they passed out. Under the cloak of the night, she packed her documents, a few clothes and some cash in a small bag clutched in her trembling hand. Clara slipped out of the apartment, leaving behind the chilling echoes of her captivity. The new city calls, a promise of a future she can barely dare to imagine. She boarded the night bus. No security, no driver, no calls. She left behind the mansion, the cars and every reminder of Leo and the life that nearly destroyed her. She arrived in a new city in Port Harcourt, tired, shaken, but breathing fresh air for the first time in years. With her degree and business knowledge, she could have started anywhere, but Clara wanted to rebuild from the bottom. Humble, safe, unnoticed. She got a small apartment and applied to work at a coffee shop in the city center. The owner, a middle-aged woman named Auntie Rose, liked Clara's manners and hired her on the spot. Clara wore aprons, made lattes, swept floors, and in that simplicity she healed. The nightmares faded, replaced by quiet nights of fragile peace. The physical bruises heal, but the scars on her soul run deeper. She shies away from connection. The idea of trusting another man, feeling impossibly dangerous. She learned to smile again, to laugh with customers. And then one afternoon, David walked in. He wore jeans and a grey polo, carried a laptop, and asked for a seat near a socket. He ordered black coffee and smiled with the calmest eyes Clara had ever seen. For weeks, he became irregular. They talked, first about coffee, then books, then music. He never asked about her past, only listened to the present. David was a tech guru, building a startup for remote learning in West Africa. He was soft-spoken, intelligent, grounded, and never rushed her. Months passed. He waited until she smiled without pain before asking her on a date. Under the soft light of a rooftop restaurant, David reached across the table and said, "I don't need to know your scars, Clara, just your future. Let me be part of it." David is everything Leo is not. Kind, patient, with warm, gentle eyes that see beyond her carefully constructed walls. He listened without judgment. His voice is soothing balm to her wounded spirit. He sees her scars, not with pity, but with understanding. His laughter is infectious, a melody she thought she had forgotten. He treats her like a princess, not with empty words, but with consistent respect, genuine care, and a deep-seated desire for her happiness. With David, the world slowly begins to feel safe again. Hesitantly, she shares fragments of her past, bracing for judgment, but he meets every revelation with unwavering support. He makes her believe in love again, in the possibility of trust, in a future she had long abandoned. Under a sky sprinkled with stars, David asked Clara to be his wife. Her face radiates a joy she thought lost forever. Their wedding was intimate, a small garden ceremony, just a few friends, Auntie Rose from the cafe, and some of David's tech partners. Clara wore a simple lace dress. David wore a grey kaftan. And in that moment, under the open sky, she felt like royalty. Their life together is a heaven, a testament of resilience and the enduring power of love. David's startup grew steadily. Clara left the coffee shop and began designing clothes again, something she had loved as a teenager. When she found out she was pregnant, David kissed her belly and whispered, "We're going to be great parents." 9 months later, Liam was born. A healthy, soft-faced boy with David's smile and Clara's eyes. 3 years later, their second child, Chloe, arrived. Curious, loud and sweet. She lit up the house with laughter. Their home is filled with laughter, warmth, and the comforting chaos of everyday life. The shadow of Leo fades, becoming a distant, almost forgotten nightmare. Until one sun-drenched afternoon, Clara is at the local market with Liam, now a handsome young man, and Chloe, their vibrant, curious daughter. The air is filled with the cheerful bustle of the crowd, the scent of fresh produce. Then a chill runs down Clara's spine. She sees him, Leo. His eyes, even after all these years, hold that chilling glance of meanness. He looks at Liam, a sinister smirk twisting his lips. A wave of terror washes over Clara, quickly followed by a fierce, premier protectiveness. He locked eyes with her, smirked, walked up. "Clara!" Leo's voice cut through the crowd, deceptively calm, yet laced with a chilling undertone. "Long time no see?" Well, 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 look at you," he said with fake charm. "Still fine. I heard you're a big madam now. And who is this fine young man?" "He looks like me." "I did the math, Clara. You left me and suddenly had a son? You sure David is the father?" Clara stepped back, disgusted. "Don't you dare!" Clara grabs her children's hands, pulling them close, her heart hammering against her ribs. Leo's words are a threat, a violation of the peace she has fought so hard to build. Back home, fear and anger fill the air. David is a furious, protective force. But beneath his rage, Clara sees the flicker of worry. Liam, confused and shaken, demands answers. The painful conversation begins. The truth about Leo's abuse and the secret that has haunted Clara for so long. But Leo didn't stop. Within 2 weeks, a legal letter arrived. Leo was demanding a paternity test, claiming Liam could be his child and asking for visitation rights. Clara was furious. David was calm. "We'll fight this, Clara," he said. "Together." And so they did. A DNA test for both children to silence Leo's baseless claims and to finally sever the last unseen cord to her past. David hired the best lawyer. Clara submitted every document from her medical records. A court-approved DNA test was scheduled. Liam, now grown and wise, stood beside his mother through it all. "Even if the test says otherwise, which it won't, you are both my parents, and that's final." The wait for the result is agonizing. Each passing moment, a tightrope walk between hope and dread. Finally, the emails arrives, carrying the weight of 2 decades of fear and the promise of ultimate freedom. The family gathers, tense and silent, as David opens the letter. His eyes scan the document, his expression unreadable at first. Then, slowly, a wave of profound relief washes over his face, a joyful smile replacing the tension. The test came back, clear. Probability of paternity, 0.00%. Clara, he says, his voice thick with emotion. Liam, Chloe, it's confirmed. Neither of you share any biological markers with Leo. The word hung in the air, then cascade over them like cleansing rain. Clara breaks down, not in tears of sorrow, but overwhelming, boundless relief. She clutches David's hand, her ankle, her protector. Liam, initially bewildered, then embraces David tightly, a wave of understanding and gratitude washing over him. Chloe, oblivious of the deeper significance, bounces with simple joy, happy that her family is okay. The relief is monumental, a wave washing over 20 years of quiet dread. Leo had tried to reclaim a part of Clara's life, a part of her children that was never his. But the DNA didn't lie. He was not the father. Not then, not now, not ever. Leo had lied. Again. This time, publicly. But Clara wasn't done. Her lawyer had gathered more than paternity evidence. Hospital record of past injuries. Witnesses from the mansion days. Even a housekeeper willing to testify about Leo's abuse. A new case was filed. Domestic violence, identity theft, and attempted extortion. Leo was arrested. The same man who once laughed at Clara's fear was now in handcuffs. The trial was short, the evidence overwhelming. Clara stood before the judge, tall, regal, unshaken, and told her story. Leo was sentenced to 7 years in prison. As he was led out of the courtroom, Clara didn't even look at him. She held David's hand, turned to her children and smiled. Let's go home. The past had tried to intrude, to cast its long, dark shadow over the beautiful life they had painstakingly built. But in the end, truth prevailed. It solidified their bond, proving that family isn't just about blood. It's about unwavering love, tireless dedication, and the steadfast choice to stand together. Clara's beautiful story continues, stronger and brighter than ever, free from the weight of the secret and bound by genuine, unbreakable love.